going on, everyone? Today we're going to be talking about the importance of obedience, right? And not just the importance of obedience, but also along the obedience, right? I often tell people you got to socialize your dog. When I mean socialize your dog, I don't mean have everybody pet your dog. I mean take your dog out to different places, right? Home Depot, Lowe's, Tractor Supply. Somebody once said this to me. He said, a lot of pet people or dog trainers, they often take their dogs to Home Depot, Tractor Supplies, and places like that. And this person said, why? You never see anybody going out there, pet people. And if you go to Home Depot, Lowe's, and Tractor Supplies, more Home Depot than anything, you will see that there's a lot of older folks out there, that will go up. Well, actually, like around five, not five, but like I want to say like 8 a.m. and then like around 8 at night before they close. Sometimes they close at 9 or 10, I believe so. So there's people that will go out there with their pets, right? And I talked to some of these older folks, and they said, "Well, I come during the morning, early in the morning. They wake up, they do their diligence, and they'll head over to Home Depot, pick up whatever they pick up. I don't know." So, however, anyways, this year alone, right? I believe it's August, or we're just a short day from August. I have gone, I want to say, at least 10 or 12 phone calls from people that have dogs and do not socialize them. And I understand, you know, they get these dogs and they don't know how much energy they have. Shepherds, Malleys, Dutchies, Rottweilers, Cane Corsos. The beginning of this year, I had a lady with a dog argentino, right? She had to put the dog down. She's from the Bay Area. She had to put the dog down due to the fact that the dog was getting too aggressive with the daughter, and, had stalking behavior. Um, the dog was in a kennel 24/7. They let the dog out just to eat, pee, and poop, right? The dog was already like 5 years old. She reached out to me and she said, "Hey, I'm looking for a dog trainer." I said, "Well, I don't have time right now. I'm busy. I have other people on my schedule." And she said, "Do you know anybody else?" And I said, "Well, not. Not that I recommend. And I'm not just saying that I don't trust anybody else. But the reason she acquired me because she said that I train dogs, in the sport of Schutzen and personal protection. So she said, you understand the aggression of these kinds of dogs." And I said, "Yeah, I trained a dog, when I was first starting, a long time ago." And so, anyways, what I'm trying to say is reach out to a dog trainer. I'm not saying to go to PetSmart or Petco or these little stores, because I'm not trying to put anybody down, but I don't know their programs. Before reaching out to somebody, look at some of their videos, maybe, get some information. Maybe they have some references. Um, I don't know, do your homework. Do your homework. But what I do know is, before getting a dog, do your homework. Do your homework, okay? If you're a person that works from home and you're very active, get a Mallee, get a Dutchie, get a Shepherd, right? But don't. Maybe just get a bulldog. Maybe, I mean, even bulldogs have a lot of energy. I used to breed bulldogs back in the days. Frenchies, they have a lot of energy. But whatever it is, do your homework. Don't wait till the last minute till you're gonna be putting down dogs, because at the end of the day, it's not the right thing to do. Nobody wants to put their dogs down. I just 2 weeks ago, or a week, 3 weeks ago, probably I want to say 2 to 3 weeks ago, I've had 3 people put their dogs down. Three, right? And they wait till the last minute, right? And you shouldn't. Reach out, get information from different dog trainers, right? Don't just go and talk to one, but talk to different ones. I mean, if you look up, on TikTok or Instagram, there's like 20, 30,000 trainers now. I'm not saying they're bad. I'm not saying they're good, but they're out there. They're out there. I don't speak for anybody else, right? But reach out to them, ask them questions. A lot of these people, they'll answer you. I know I do. I answer. When people reach out to me, hey, obviously if you're reaching out to me every day, asking me questions, then I'm like, well, come on. But once or twice, hey, I have the time. You know, meet up with them. Do an eval. Where go over and have them evaluate your dog. If they have any other dogs, say, hey, you mind if I look at your other dogs? I kind of want to see where's my dog gonna be at, right? So reach out to a dog trainer. Don't wait till the last minute so um, you're gonna put your dog down. Don't wait. Don't wait. Reach out to people. I know there's in LA, there's a lot of good dog trainers. In Bakersfield, there's a gentleman out there that I know. Out here, there's a couple other ones too. So yeah, reach out to people. Reach out to people. Reach out to dog trainers. TikTok, Instagram, Facebook, YouTube. You got social media that just blows up with dog trainers. It's just every dog trainer, or Google dog trainer in my area. Look it up. Um, if you have, and this is something that I am gonna say, um, if you are wanting to get into protection dogs, look up somebody that has dogs in protection. Obviously, um, for for me, with that being said, I'm gonna change the subject real quick. You just forgot something. For me, one of the biggest thing is, if you have a dog that is having dog aggression, human aggression, resource guarding, for me and what I've seen, you know, look up somebody that is a dog trainer that focuses in protection, because they know aggression, right? I'm not talking about these other people that don't do the protection, or they just do the little, pedal beatings. Don't get me wrong, everybody out there, don't get me wrong. I have nothing against you guys at all, but I've seen it where these people who train dogs for personal protection, they know aggression because they tap into it, they work with it, you know. So reach out to those people. Those people are gonna be the people that, boom, they got it, right? Have I seen people that do pedal beatings that do not, get the job done? That's not what I was saying. Okay, so don't twist my words. What I was saying is, reach out to people that have the background in personal protection, police work, sport, KPVN, or whatever the fuck it is, reach out to those people. I don't know, Ring, Mondu, Schutzen, IPO, IGP, whatever it's called nowadays. Reach out to those people because those people they know aggression, right? So with that being said, if you're getting a puppy, get some training, right? And the most important, like super important thing to do when getting a puppy, socialize the heck out of it. And again, I don't mean take your puppy and have everybody pet it. Absolutely not. You see me with my puppy. I have a Roddy, which is crazy in a good way. She has prey drive. I'll get into that later on my other channel, my other TikTok. But I bring her out when I do puppy classes with my other clients. I bring her out and I show them this is what I'm doing. My puppy shouldn't be engaging with you. I don't want my puppy engaging with you because what it is, dogs are pack animals, right? So it's my dog and myself, right? If I'm ever not there, my dogs are not stupid either. They can be handled by other people, right? But I make them stable. They're not nervy. I've had Rotties, Shepherds, Mallies, Dutchies, like I said, but they're not stupid. They're not like, oh, I'm gonna kill you. But socialize your puppy. You know, um, I have my puppy. I'm gonna be making a video on what I do. Okay, so my puppy doesn't go after other dogs or doesn't have dog aggression, human aggression. Right, my puppy. I want my puppy to ignore everybody other than me. My son comes out, every once in a while, and he helps me train my dogs and my clients' dogs. An amazing kid. Um, he handles my dogs. So going back to that, okay. First of all, raising a puppy for me is food drive, right? Because it motivates your puppy to do something for you, okay? So I do food drive. How do you make food drive? I'll show you later down the line. I'm going to be making a couple videos. Stay tuned. Look at those videos. This is the way I do it. I'm not saying you go ahead and do it. I'm just saying this is my way of doing it, and which I've had very, very much success. So I encourage you guys to do your homework before you get a puppy, okay? Look at your lifestyle and be very honest with yourself. Don't say, well, yeah, I'm gonna start, running, and I'm gonna go out and work out to the park. If you haven't done it by then, you're not gonna do it. Who are you kidding? Okay, you're just letting your dog down, right? You end up getting, and I see it all the time. These people get the Mallies, Shepherds. Yeah, I'm gonna go out running. I'm gonna do this. I'm gonna do that. That's not your lifestyle. It's not. Unless you do a 180, whop, not a 360 because you're gonna end up back at the same spot, but a 180, boom, right? And you start working out. Like I go out, for my walks with my pet dogs. With my own dogs, we go out for a run. We go 2-3 miles. Half a mile per dog. Boom, 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 right? They're active. My dogs are very active. I play 2-ball with my Mallie. Right, boom, throw the ball. So they're energetic. So back to puppy foundation. Okay, the one thing that I do with my puppies, they have a lot of food drive. I create food drive for my puppy, okay, because I want them to just engage with me. So everything's food drive, okay, and I'll show you guys down the line how I do everything. So food drive, right? They're pack animals. So my puppy wants to be with me. I mean, if I see my puppy wants to go out, and play with somebody else, then I'm like, whoa, I'm not interested. Then my puppy's not interested in me, right? And I'm like, why is my puppy wanting to go and play with that other person? Right? I want my puppy to play with me. Therefore, I'm doing something wrong. Okay? Ask yourself this question, and this is a very important question. Why did I buy a puppy? Why did I buy a puppy? Okay. Did I buy a puppy so my neighbor can have fun? Did I buy a puppy so everybody can pet it? Did I buy a puppy so the guy down the street is playing with my puppy? No. Ask yourself that question. Why did you buy a puppy? And be honest with yourself. You know? I myself, I don't like people touching my dogs. Why? Get your own dog. You know? And plus my puppies don't want to, my dogs don't want to be petted by anybody else. And all my clients, they're like, yeah, it makes sense, Jose. I had a client, and this is the funniest thing ever. She said, I want my dog to go play with other dogs. And I said, why? I just do. So you purchase a dog for you, but you want your dog to go play with other dogs? And we laughed. And she's like, well, once you put it like that, I said, well, then hold on. I said, well, then do this. Buy your dog a puppy. And she laughed and laughed. And I said, you bought your dog for you, but now you don't have time to play with your dog? And now you're going to buy your dog a dog? Anyways, right? So, check this out. Puppy Foundation. For me, I want my dog to have food drive. I take my dogs everywhere. So my dog is not nervy. My dog's not gonna like react to people, you know. I want my dog to be with me. Right? That's the whole reason I got a dog. It's for me. I didn't get a dog so my dog can go play with another dog, or my dog can go play with my next door neighbor, or whoever, you know. And then socialize your dog. When I mean socialize your dog, again, I don't mean have everybody pet your dog. I mean take him out or her to Home Depot, Lowe's, Tractor Supply. But then again, it goes back to food drive, because when a dog has food drive, the puppy is able to do what? Move forward, right? So if your puppy is afraid of anything or something or whatever it is, through food drive, you can make that puppy move forward. Okay? So, with that being said, I'm going to cut it right here. Stay tuned. Make a couple more videos, and we'll go from there. But I do encourage you guys to get help when you get a puppy. Alright? Look up videos, reach out to people, dog trainers, wherever you are, New York, Atlanta, Chicago, wherever, Buffalo, wherever it is, go on your laptop, computer, iPhone, whatever, Samsung, dog trainers near me, boom, you have a whole list, TikTok, Instagram, YouTube, Facebook, Google, go for it. Okay, with that being said, peace. I'll see you guys later.